you don't have to buy the GoPro Creator Kit to replicate its functionalities for your other setup. I have the GoPro Hero 8 and I have the GoPro Hero 11. I'm very happy with this setup. That's why I'm thinking maybe I can have a cheaper alternative to get most out of it with a lower price. So this GoPro Creator Kit original accessory from GoPro has a built-in battery bank, so I can always charge the GoPro Hero 11 all the time. And it features this Bluetooth remote, so I can start and stop recording or change the mode right here on my fingertips. It's a very capable setup. It comes with a media mod and a flashlight. So I'm thinking for my GoPro Hero 8, I may be able to use off-the-shelf components and build the same thing, and even better audio or connectivity. In this case, I'm using a SmallRig tripod with a built-in battery bank. It looks like it has at least one 18650 lithium-ion battery built in, and it has the USB-C to USB-C cable. As you probably already noticed that I swapped out a few components on the GoPro Hero 8. The most obvious one is the battery door. So I'm using the Ulanzi GoPro Hero 8 battery door to get the USB-C access, but in this way I may lose the water resistant feature. But I will be able to quickly connect to a USB external power source. And the second, I'm using the 1/4-inch adapter so I can mount it quickly onto any tripod I want. But in this case, if I want to use the media mod, I can take off the battery door and use the media mod in order to get all these ports I'm going to talk about later. These are very useful in the GoPro Hero 8 to get reliable HDMI output, live streaming, and it does not require additional power source to power my wireless transmitter. That's very important. That's a very different behavior than the current gen, and that one has a lot more power requirements than the previous GoPro Hero 8. And in this way, I cannot use the 1/4-inch adapter. I would have to use the finger joint. Then I also have the GoPro remote control and the Rode wireless, the Rode Video Go 2 to improve the quality, or you can use a more compact version. That's really up to you. Then I'm using the SmallRig Video Light, which also has the USB-C charging port and a diffuser. It goes very bright, has several modes. That's the maximum brightness. In this way, if we put it together, we can replicate the whole thing. Additionally, I'm using a hot shoe adapter to go into its 1/4-inch adapter, and we will put it all together. In this way, I need the 1/4-inch to finger joint adapter. So put it in here, so we will behave exactly like that. In this way, I cannot do quick release using a 1/4-inch, so the finger joint must be used. That is the only downside of this kind of setup. However, it is more secure than using a 1/4-inch. That's why the GoPro is using this method for all of its mounting. So I'm gonna do this, and keep in mind there's a recess area on the left side when the camera is facing me. So I'm going to put it in like so and let the screw go in from the left side. Therefore, I would have easy access to the knob. And keep in mind when using the media mod, there are 2 cold shoe accessories. Although it has a built-in shotgun microphone, that's not the best. And in this way, I can plug in my USB-C cable, and since it's a ball head, I can have more flexibility than the original tripod on the GoPro. It has a 1/4-inch adapter at the bottom, by the way. It does support 360 rotation. And it does not support the telescopic position, so it is pretty short. Same here. There's no telescopic mounting method. And when it's charging, it shows the current charging status. One press will be able to power it on, but it cannot be powered off. There is only one charging port, and it recharges at 10 watts. There's a 5.1 volts, 2 amps. It's very fast charging. It should be able to support 10 to 15 hours. I haven't done a... Okay, that is over 12 watts. Anyway, it will recharge. It will be able to support time lapse at least 15 hours based on my previous experience. Now I can mount a little microphone. Okay, this is a bit tough. You will have to... Yeah, this one is too big. There is a... I'm using this adapter, so it needs to be taken out, for example. In this example, I'm just going to use a smaller mic, just for demonstration purpose. And I can improve the audio quality like this, but now the cable must face up unless you use a straight adapter. This is a 90-degree angle. And then I got the wireless remote, also from GoPro, to replicate this feature where I can just wear it on my wrist, like so, and control the camera remotely. However, keep in mind, when you keep the wireless feature on, the battery life will suffer. So if you don't use the remote feature, I would highly recommend go into the preference, connections, and disable the wired connection. Otherwise, you should put it on. Then it will be able to control the camera remotely using this thing. Okay, connect to. It is not set up yet, but you get the idea, right? And now we can put the video light on the side, just like the GoPro Hero 11. And now we have a very, very similar setup. You don't have to use the microphone though. That is just something I throw on, for the demo, because it is supposed to have a high quality, but it really doesn't make much of a difference. You can also mount the microphone here. If I take off the screw, should go in just fine. This thing also works with a tripod, by the way. Yeah, can totally do something like this, but it's no longer a low profile setup. It will draw a lot of attention, so I wouldn't recommend using a large microphone like this, okay, when you're filming outside. Now we have a pretty similar setup with the remote, which can be worn on the wrist. And here we can only control the camera recording status right here in the tripod. Has a lot more flexibility because of this ball head. And it's a very stable tripod with built-in battery. Okay, so hopefully this gives you some ideas of how you can set up your GoPro. I would still recommend the GoPro Hero 8 if you really need the HDMI output for its HDMI wireless setup for monitoring or for live streaming. The GoPro Hero 8 is totally sufficient running at 1080p based on my experience. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you find this review helpful.